Hello, my name is Aiden LeBlanc. I'd like to thank you for having me out today to talk about the school schedule and whether or not it should be modified or normal. So I'd like to start with the fact that many schools around the United States are transitioning to a year-round schooling system to help benefits the students and staff. But other school districts should be doing the same thing because it will help the students retain more information they've learned, allow families and students to move at their own pace, and advance quicker in a class while still learning the same information. So to start, I wanted to bring in a piece from ReadWorks Inc. It says, breaks also give teachers time to plan better lessons. Teachers in schools with a long summer break are so busy teaching that they have less time to plan for their classes. So this really opens up to the idea that with a traditional schooling schedule, teachers have less time to plan out units because of the fact that they are teaching so fast. Every week has a unit. They don't really have a gap time to thoroughly plan out a new unit. Also, Matthew Lynch from The Advocate, he brought a good point in, and he said year-round schooling means that students do not fall victim to the summer slide, which is a well-known phenomenon where students unlearn some of the knowledge they've worked so hard to attain when too much consecutive time is taken off. And he makes a very good point, and it's a well-known idea that students don't retain nearly as much information as they would, say, if they had a 25 or 30-day gap period instead of an entire summer break. He also says minority students who don't speak English as their primary language are most affected because in classes like English, they really struggle, and if they suffer from falling behind a long break, they might not retain what they learned, and it might be hard for them to function in everyday society. Finally, I wanted to bring in another quote from ScreenFlex. An editor stated, a byproduct of the summer break is dividing classes based on age, so we all know what that means. So like 10th grade, 15-year-olds in 10th grade, 16-year-olds in 11th grade, 7th, and so on. If there was year-round schooling, there would be less distinction between year X and year Y. Instead of waiting for next school year to start, more advanced children will be able to move on. So if they've passed all the requirements for that year, they should be able to move on to the next year. He makes a very good point when he says this. They should be able to move on to the next year if they feel they're ready and have met the requirements. And his main point is that the student should be able to control when they move on to the next stage in their life, just like they would when they grow up and get a job and have to do things. Not on as strict a schedule as school, but they have to have deadlines. But in conclusion, year-round schooling is a very controversial topic in the modern day United States, but it should be implemented into most schools because of its benefits to teachers and students. This change will help students retain a lot more information, move at their own pace, and place less stress on teachers and students.